everyone, it's Eunice and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I am going to be talking about my winter makeup routine. Winter is one of the worst seasons for my skin because I do have dry skin. As soon as it goes down to the 50s, my skin just breaks out and it is so dry. And I'm going to show you guys what I mean about that. I never break out. I have so many dry patches. My lids are dry as fudge. And yeah, it's bad. And I know I just have to like put on moisturizer and whatnot and try my best not to put on makeup, but I love my makeup and I love a full coverage look. So that is what I'm going to be showing you guys, and of course all the products that I'll be mentioning will be down in the description bar as well as links to these products. Without further ado, let's get on to the video. My messy hair, I am going to get this trimmed within the day. I swear I'm going to Ulta and get this trimmed because it's just so all over the place. It's not usually like this. I used to have like silky straight hair, but ever since I colored it and the different seasons here in the US, it's been, I don't know, dry and frizzy. That is also because I used to live in a tropical country and I grew up in a tropical country, so my skin, my hair, my whole self is not used to like having 4 different seasons. But anyway, first and foremost, you have to make sure that your skin is well hydrated. Be it putting a moisturizing mask the night before, putting a facial oil. One thing that works for my skin is using the Drunk Elephant Marula oil on my skin the night before, and that's what I did last night, but it still has dry patches because the winter this year is kind of crazy, and I'm sure you all know that. But another thing is, of course, to use a moisturizer. This is what I am going to use today. This is from Dermalogica. It's the Intensive Moisture Balance. And I really like it because it really does moisturize my face, especially during the winter time. And another thing is that it doesn't clog up my pores. My skin kind of absorbs it quick. So just making sure that all the areas of my face wherein I have dryness are covered. While that's sinking in my skin, I'm going to do my brows off camera. Okay, so brows are done. Now let's get to the primer. I also applied lip balm on my lips because they're cracking like crazy because of the weather. So for primer, what I like to use is the NYX Hydra Touch Oil Primer. I know Smashbox has this primer as well, and this is kind of a dupe, and I only use this for the winter time because it's way too hydrating for the summertime, especially if you have oily skin. Like I said, I have dry skin, so this is perfect for the winter time. What I like to do is do it Instagram style and drop it on my cheek area. Like 5 drops is enough, and then just kind of pat it all over my face, especially on my cheeks area because that is where my dry patches are. It takes a little bit of time for it to sink in. When using an oil-based primer or when using a facial oil underneath your makeup, try your best to stay away from foundations with big amount of water in its ingredients because oil and water, they just don't mix. Your foundation will literally sit on top of your face and that will not look good. So while the primer is sinking in my face, I am going to wash my sponge. I am using the Wet n Wild Beauty Sponge today. While my primer is still sinking in, let's go ahead and do the eyes. You can totally skip this part, but I kind of like having a little bit of depth on my crease area just to complete the look. So like I said, if you don't want to put eyeshadow, feel free to skip this part of the video. So first, since I have like really dry eyelids, I have to make sure that I put on a primer on top of it because it's gonna show, like those dry cracks are gonna show if you don't put a primer on top of it. And I like using the Urban Decay primer potion whenever I have like dry cracked lids because the formula of this primer is kind of hydrating as well. It has a little bit of oiliness to it, which I love. So once you blend in your primer, now it's time to set that primer with some powder. What I like to use is whatever powder I'll be using on my entire face. Today I'm using the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Medium Tan. So I'm just going to grab an eyeshadow brush and I'm just going to lightly set that lid just to create a good base for our eyeshadow. So for eyeshadow, I just want to go for a simple look because this is an everyday makeup look. So what I'm going to use is this Wet n Wild Quad. It's the Walking on Eggshells Quad. And I'm just taking a fluffy blending brush. I'm going to use this transition shade up here and I'll apply that on my crease area. So starting from the outer corner and then bringing it in. Now I'm taking a more packed blending brush and I'm taking the crease shade right here. I'll just use that to darken out the outer corner and kind of blend it in a little bit, just to have a little bit more depth to my eyes. And then using my ring finger, I'm just going to get this pink shade right here that's for the eyelid, and I'm just going to apply that all over my lid for a little bit of shimmer. I would usually skip eyeshadow because I have really dry skin and it's not really good if I already have like dry eyelids and then pile on this much product on my lids. So I'm just gonna kind of blend that in to get rid of any harsh lines. So now that's done, let's get onto the face makeup. I can definitely feel that the primer has sinked in. I have two options right here. But what I'm going to use today is this It Cosmetics CC cream. It has SPF 50 and that's why I didn't use any sunscreen on my face, because I didn't want to layer on so much products on my face and then end up clogging my pores. So what I like to use is more of a tinted sunscreen, not really a foundation with sunscreen, just because I feel like tinted sunscreens have more protection for your skin as opposed to a foundation with what, SPF 15. Like I said, this has SPF 50 UVA UVB. It's in the shade medium tan, and like I said, this is what I'm using today, and I love this formula because it's kind of hydrating as well, so it's just perfect for the winter time. And then a more affordable option, this one is only available in the Philippines, I believe. It's the Bello Sun Expert Tinted Sunscreen. I also love this because you don't have to choose a shade for this. It adapts to your skin tone. So at the onset, when you apply it, it's gonna look too white. Don't be afraid, because as you apply your makeup, it's gonna settle in your skin and it's gonna match your skin tone. I'm just gonna show you guys a quick swatch on this hand with the eyebrow pencil, just to give you guys a look on what the coverage is like for this Bello Sun Expert Tinted Sunscreen. I love this. I use it for every day, but I'm kind of like saving it a bit just because I can't buy it here, you know? But I like using it for every day because, like I said, it's a more affordable option if you have access to it. So yeah, it has like a light to medium coverage. It doesn't clog my pores, and as you can see, it's not too white. It definitely just kind of sinks in your skin and matches your skin tone. But for today, we are going to be using the It Cosmetics CC cream. If you're using the Bello Sun Expert Tinted Screen, I like using it with a dense foundation brush, like something like this. This one is from Wet n Wild, because it makes it easier for me to blend it all over my face and to give my face that airbrush look. For the It Cosmetics CC cream, it has more coverage, so I like to use a beauty sponge to blend it in my face, on my face. Because I start off on the areas where I need heavy coverage, so that's my cheek area, because I have a lot of redness during the winter time. And I have breakouts as well. And like I said, it's only during the winter time that my skin is this bad, because I have really dry skin, so my skin just reacts this way to the season, the weather. So just really focusing on those areas, and of course some on my neck. Then grabbing my beauty sponge, I'm just going to blend that in using like that bottom part. I don't really like applying too much on the under eye area because I like to conceal that a little bit more, because I also have like dark under eyes. I don't know why. Maybe it's from waking up too early, not getting that much sleep, because I like to wake up early. I don't know. Now for concealer, what I like to use is this Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer, because it has a naturally radiant finish, but it still gives me enough coverage to hide my bags. So what I like to do is not pack it on too much, because that's gonna end up clogging up my pores. And since the It Cosmetics CC cream has enough coverage already, what I like to do is just kind of dot this on that like under eye line, and then of course in other areas where I need additional coverage. And then going back to my sponge, I'm just going to blend that in. So since it is winter and I have dry skin, I'm not going to bake my face at all. What I'm going to use is a pressed powder. Like I said, I'm using the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Powder in the shade Medium Tan. And I'm just going to use this Luxie foundation brush to set my under eyes. So just getting a little bit of product, tap that, and kind of lightly set that. And then just to make sure that our concealer is well set so it doesn't move throughout the day. And also like this nose area right here, my T-zone. And then for the rest of my face, I'm just going to get a fluffy tapered powder brush, a little bit of tap, and then, because we don't want that much powder. So I didn't really set my cheek area just yet because we are using NARS Orgasm. I know that name is just but what I like to do is shake it up a little bit. Make sure you didn't set your cheek area or else it's not gonna look as good. One pump is enough. Actually, half a pump is enough to blush up your entire cheek area. Like I said, what I like to do is pump it on my hand and kind of just do this. And then lightly apply that on the apples of my cheeks. So if you feel like you applied too much, just go get your powder brush and do that. So I'm not gonna contour anymore because that is just gonna clog up my pores, adding that much layer. So what I like to use is a bronzer that kind of works as a contour as well. And what I like to use is this Benefit bronzer. This is the original Hoola actually, because I find that it's the perfect shade for my skin tone. And I kind of like using the brush even though it's so prickly, because it's just the right brush to carve out my cheek area and blend it out as well. There we go. So this is totally up to you, but I also like to tightline my eyes with some brown eyeliner just to give it a little bit more definition. I honestly need to stop talking while doing this. Okay, so for setting spray, I originally wanted to use this Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist, but I only have like a sample, deluxe sample size version of it, and I already finished it apparently. But something that's also hydrating and a lot more affordable is this Wet n Wild Photo Focus Cucumber 3-in-1 spray. It's actually a 3-in-1 primer water. Somebody commented, isn't that a primer? I'm like, no, it says prep, set, and refresh. So I like to use it as a setting spray, like my natural finish setting spray. And I'm just gonna spritz a little bit of this. And once that's a little bit dry, what I'm going to use for my highlighter is this Anastasia Amrezy highlighter. And it has like a gold finish, but it's universally flattering. At first I was like, I don't think that's gonna look good on me, but when I started using it, it looks so natural yet so on point. So just applying that on the high points of my face. Okay, so now let's curl our lashes. So what I love to use is the Heroin Make Volume and Curl Mascara. I've used this forever now, and it's one of the only mascaras I use aside from the L'Oreal Lash Paradise and the Maybelline Lash Sensational. My sister told me that the Maybelline Total Temptation is also a good mascara, but I haven't tried that yet, so maybe later, maybe we could get it, pick it up. Try out some new products. Well, not new products. Not new releases, but new for me. Since we don't have like an intense eyeshadow, I like volumed lashes and full lashes when it comes to that natural look. I don't know why I say natural when I'm saying like full lashes. And of course, don't forget that lower lashes. I know it's so hard, like I usually make a mistake there, but that's fine. You can do some patchwork later, but look at that difference with lashes, without lashes. So, if you're not entirely satisfied with your first coat of lashes, wait a few minutes and let that dry. And then what I like to do is layer on top of it, but only apply mascara on the ends of the lashes so that it doesn't weigh it down if you apply way too much product on the there. Now for lips, you have to make sure that it's well hydrated. I use the Carmex lip balm all the time and it works amazing. It's like straight up just lip balm, and that's what I love about it. So for lipstick today, I'm using the Sunny's Face. I know this is a matte lipstick and it's in the shade Nudist. It's what I like for every day. I love that warm tone, nude. And since this is more of a matte lipstick, what I like to do is put lip gloss on top of it. I'm using this Dose of Colors lip gloss in the shade Happy Hour. And this is more of a peachy shade and I need to pick up something else. But I just love their gloss. So I just start in the middle, kind of brush that out so it doesn't look too peachy. Just to add a little bit of shine on my lips. And there it is. Here is my finished winter makeup routine. It's more on the dewy, glowy side because that's how I like my makeup. It just proves that even though it's winter time, you can definitely have radiant, dewy skin. It's not just for the summertime. It's definitely achievable. And if you like this video, of course, do give it a thumbs up. If you have any video suggestions, requests, or whatnot, don't forget to comment that down below. And of course, don't forget to follow me on social media on Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, wherever you want to follow me. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. And thank you so much for watching this video. Once again, it's Eunice. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!